Hello, dear listeners, and welcome back to Book Summary 5, the 5-Minute Summary channel. I'm Sammy, your host. Today, we're diving into the Reprieve by Jean-Paul Sartre, the second novel in his Roads to Freedom trilogy. Originally published in 1945, this book plunges us into the tension-soaked days leading up to World War II, more specifically the week of the Munich Agreement in September 1938. Sartre's philosophical fingerprints are everywhere in this novel, but don't worry, I'll guide you through it so you'll feel like you've read it cover to cover. We open in France, and there's a storm of anxiety in the air. The world stands on edge as Hitler threatens to invade Czechoslovakia. While the headlines rage, ordinary people, students, workers, veterans, lovers, pacifists, live through the tension in their own very personal ways. Sartre doesn't focus on a single protagonist. Instead, he builds a mosaic of voices and perspectives, each one grappling with the same question. What will I do if war breaks out? Among these characters is Matthew Delarue, a philosophy teacher, and the same man we met in the Age of Reason. He's an intellectual, hesitant and burdened by his ideals. As the possibility of war grows more real, he finds himself torn between pacifism and the call to fight fascism. Should he enlist? Should he resist? Should he flee? His indecision becomes a mirror for a generation caught between the past and a terrifying, uncertain future. Meanwhile, his younger brother Jacques, already immersed in the Communist Party, has no such hesitation. He sees war as a necessary struggle, a way to accelerate revolution. Their conversations, along with many others in the book, become battlegrounds of ideology, identity, and fear. Sartre isn't just telling a story here. He's staging a series of internal and external debates, forcing the reader to ask what freedom really means when all choices seem compromised. And then there's Ivich, Matthew's on-again, off-again lover, struggling with her own role in this unraveling world. Her emotional volatility, her sense of restlessness and meaninglessness, feel like raw nerves exposed to history's cruelty. Her pregnancy, her affairs, her resistance to being tied down, they all reflect the chaos around her. She's not just a character, but a symbol of a world slipping away from its old certainties. Sartre's writing style in The Reprieve is famously experimental. He switches points of view mid-paragraph, dissolving the boundaries between characters and even between thoughts. It can feel dizzying at times, but there's a reason behind it. He's showing how individual consciousness is never really isolated. Everyone's fear, hope, and confusion blend together, creating a collective atmosphere of dread. The reader becomes part of this anxiety, pulled into the swirl of lives reacting to a moment in history that could change everything. The title, The Reprieve, refers to the false relief that comes with the Munich Agreement. When British Prime Minister Neville Chamberlain returns from Germany proclaiming, "Peace for our time," there's a wave of celebration. War has been avoided. For now, people flood the streets. They kiss, they drink, they believe they've been spared. But Sartre doesn't let us feel that relief for long. We, the readers, know what's coming. That peace is an illusion. The real conflict hasn't been stopped, only delayed. And the cost of that delay is enormous. The final pages of the book are some of the most powerful. Soldiers who had prepared for war are told to return home. The tension releases not into joy, but into a sickening emptiness. No victory, no closure, just the quiet knowledge that the reprieve is temporary. The world is still hurtling toward catastrophe. The Reprieve is not a simple novel. It's dense, philosophical, emotionally raw, and intentionally disorienting. But it captures something essential about that moment in time, about how people navigate freedom, fear, and choice when history comes knocking. It asks, what do we owe to ourselves, to each other, and to the future when everything is at stake? Thank you for tuning in to Book Summary 5, the 5-Minute Summary channel. If you enjoyed this summary, please subscribe, like, and share it with your friends. Until next time, happy reading.